This video is to give you an overview of how I plan on doing the tests. Now, before I actually show you what the tests are like, I actually have study tips for you. So if you click on the study tips link on the bottom of the homepage, it has study tips. It has my tips for studying and study tips from other people. How to study for anatomy, multiple choice test taking tips, more multiple choice test taking tips. So I suggest you watch all of these videos as well on how to actually take tests. Because when you take the TEAS test or test for PT school or whatever school you're trying to get into, you're going to have a timed test in a stressful situation, and people that are very good at taking tests will have an advantage over you. So follow these tips. You can actually take these $1,000 test taping prep classes, and basically they go over all of these tips, and then the other secret of them is they have you take the practice tests over and over again. So to go on with the test, you will have two kinds of tests. You will have lecture exams. There will be 4 of them. And you will have lab exams. There will be 12 of them. I will drop the load too. Now, lecture exams will all be out of 100 points. Lab exams will actually be out of 20 points, not 21 points. It's just how I set up this test. For lecture exams also, there are 3 quizzes. That's because we have more than 20 chapters. We have 23 chapters. So there's going to be 3 quizzes as well. But it's going to follow the same format. Now, both lecture tests and lab tests are timed. So I'm going to click on the practice test, and it'll tell you the due date. This is when it will automatically submit it. So I've had students teaching online in the past that say, oh, the test is due at 11:59 p.m. on the 15th of August. I'm going to start it at 11:50 p.m. And then they are very unhappy when it automatically submits it at 10:59 p.m. So make sure you have enough time to complete the test. Now, I'll usually open the test on a Monday or a Wednesday and close it on a Tuesday or a Thursday for lecture exams. And you can take it when you would like to. You can take these tests when it's convenient for you. You can take them in the morning. If you work at night, you could take them in the evening after you've put your kids to bed. It's a time that is convenient for you. So I'll tell you how many points, how many questions, and the time limit. Now, on the practice test, I really constricted your time limit. I'll explain why in a minute. But for the other tests, you'll have roughly 80 to 85 minutes to do 100 questions. So you should be answering 2 questions per minute. That's actually why I set this for 60, so you get used to answering 2 questions per minute. So the time limit I'm giving you on tests reflects what it would be in a face-to-face class. So I'm not giving you less time. I know that some people are going to be looking up answers, but make sure you have enough time to finish the exam. I will have no sympathy if you run out of time because you're looking up answers. So this is the practice exam, so I'm going to open this to show you what the test will be like. Now, this is the only practice exam I'm giving you for lecture. I am only giving you 1 for lab. However, there are about 170 questions, and it will randomly choose 100 of them. So you can actually take the practice test several times and get different sets of questions each time. Now, the reason why I did that was those $1,000 test-taking classes, here's their secret. They give you strategies, and then they just have you take the test over and over and over again. A friend of mine from college took a multi-$1,000 MCAT class, and I think it was a 10-week-long class, and she took sample MCATs 20 times. So you need to practice taking tests just to get used to the test-taking environment and answering questions really quickly. Again, I have study tips on how to read through tests, but not only take my practice exam here, but go to Google, type in whatever subject, whatever that you're looking for, and this practice exam. Quizlet is a great resource also for doing practice exams. So take a lot of practice exams so you get comfortable taking a 100-question test in 60 minutes. Again, you should be answering 2 questions a minute. And by the way, I did this test in 10 minutes. Again, because I got trained to do 2 questions a minute. So again, take practice exams, do this many times. So all your tests will have instructions. And when you scroll down to the bottom, it will say, take this test. Do not click this until you are ready to take it. Once you click this, it is live. You're going to have a sample test for reading the orientation. You're going to have some surveys after some chapters similar to this, but this is a live test. You can only take it once. So, the multiple choice tests are going to be 100 questions. You have a bar right here that gives you the questions, and you have a running count. Oh no, I've used 11 seconds of my time. Now, I know many of you are trained to jump questions that you're familiar with. I personally miss questions that way, so I don't recommend it. I just like taking 1 question at a time. Now, the way Canvas is set up, I can either do all 100 questions at once or 1 at a time. So your lecture exams, they will all be here. So you can scroll down to try to find easier questions. I suggest going in order. So what you do, it's a multiple choice test. You read the question, you click on the answer. So which is required for bone growth to heal a fracture? That would be an osteoblast, which we won't learn for several weeks. Now, you can flag a question. So I'm going to flag question 2, and it'll be flagged up here. Now, unfortunately, when you submit the test, all that flagging goes away. So if you're flagging it because you're unclear of it and want to check the answer when you're done, you're not going to see which questions you flagged. So basically, there's 100 questions. I have a video on the types of questions I have. So when you're done, you're going to click Submit Quiz. And it's going to say you missed 99 questions because I left them all blank. And it tells you how long, what your score is. And the way I had it set up is it will not tell you which ones you got right or wrong because there's still other students to take the test. I will try to open it up the next morning so you could see, after it's due, so you could see what you got right or wrong. If I don't, or please email me to remind me. But I want you to see what you got wrong after everything is taken. The other type of test you'll have are lab tests. Lab tests are similar. They tell you points. They'll all be out of 20. They will give you a time limit. Again, you'll have 16 minutes to do 20 questions. So that's a little bit less than 1 question a minute. I think it's 45 seconds per question or 50 seconds per question. Here, I made it artificially low, just so you get used to taking the test and having a limited time. So you'll have 16 minutes to do 20 questions. And same thing, I'll have instructions here. The difference is you're going to be identifying things. I will tell you all of my lab questions now. What is this tissue? What is this structure? What is this organ? What is this specific structure? What is this layer? It's going to be identifying either histology slides, pictures on diagrams, pictures on models. So this is for the first test. So again, don't click this button until you're ready. And the way I have this set up is there is a question bank that has, I think, 40 questions in it. So it'll give you different questions each time. I want you to get the experience of taking a test under stressful situations. Now, the big difference is I only have 1 question right here. If I look here, there's 21 questions. The way I set this test up is you have 1 question at a time because you will get pictures. And when I did 20 questions at once, some students timed out downloading some of the picture questions, so I set it so it loads 1 question at a time because some people have low bandwidth. So a lot of them will be just multiple choice like this. Which letter indicates a structure? So which is the rough endoplasmic reticulum? I have a lot of glare, but I'm going to go for D. And then you click the next button. And unfortunately, I have to scroll down my instructions again. It'll give you the next question. So a lot of them are going to be, what is this structure? Or multiple choice. I could ask the question like this, what region is highlighted? That would be the axillary region. Now, some of the questions are going to give you a picture that has numbers or letters. Write the number for the buccal region. That would be 4. Now, on later tests, I try to do a lot of numbers. Some of them still have letters, though. Read my instructions for the letters. If I say write the lowercase letter, please don't write the capital letter. If I say write the capital letter, please don't write the lowercase letter. So it's case sensitive a lot of times. I didn't do that intentionally. So in some tests, I managed to be smart and just do numbers. Now, I suggest you take this multiple times. Again, because it's loading up, and when I do my previews of these tests, I get some stress going, oh my goodness, am I going to have time to finish this test with it taking so long to load? So just take your time. Take practice exams for this. Get used to it loading one question at a time. That is a big psychological thing that I wasn't ready for when I started to preview these. I'm like, oh, that is going to be worrisome. So again, you'll have pictures that have models. These are histology slides. This would be something we do in class as well. We look at what the microscopic structures are, and then I'll ask you what the tissue is or what a structure on the tissue is. So which would be adipose connective tissue? This doesn't say lowercase or uppercase. Since it's uppercase there, I'm going to put an uppercase in and put A. So, and you could also, for both tests, go back, either by clicking on these or clicking on the back button. So since I skipped 6, I could go back to 6. In closing, you'll have 2 types of tests, lecture tests and lab exams. In a lecture test, there's going to be 4 main tests plus 3 quizzes. It will be multiple choice, and it will just give you all the questions on one page. On the lab exams, it will be 20 questions in 16 minutes. I dropped the low 2 tests. I might drop the low 3. I'm pretty sure it's only the low 2, though. And basically, it is going to be what letter indicates something, or I'll say, what is the acromial region, and you put either write the letter in the text box or click on the radio button. And lastly, I really stress practice taking tests. So when you get to this time-limited case, you're not stressed out going, oh no, my time is ticking down. And you could even hide that. I don't like hiding it because I'm not going to know how much time I have left. So, if you have any questions about tests, please email me before you take the first test. Thank you.